Latest football news,
engaging debates,
and fascinating opinions.
Pitchside talk on IO Radio.
So kicking off the games for Sunday, it is West Brom versus Newcastle. And for West Brom, they're expected to be without Diagana for the third game in 8 days because of illness. Also, Kieran Gibbs is going to might miss this game because of a neck problem that he picked up against Everton in the defeat on Thursday. But for Newcastle, more big blows. St. Maximin and Almiron are out until April because of groin and knee injuries. Also, Callum Wilson's on the sideline still. And, well, there's no more injuries for them to be reported. But Piers, a big opportunity here for West Brom. I think, as we was just saying here, it is their lifeline. If they win this, they'll go 6 points away from safety, 3 more closer to Fulham. But with Newcastle, all these problems they've got to find a way to win here, because if not, Fulham could be breathing down their necks again.
Yeah, it's too obvious. It's so important for Newcastle. I think they've got to get this win, because if not, they're definitely going to get dragged into this relegation battle, especially with the way Fulham have been planning and getting results left, right, and centre. It's going to be hard for them. And I think a player like St. Maximin being out, from what I've seen of him, I think he's a key player to Newcastle. I think he creates so much on the pitch, so he's so important. West Brom, on the other hand, if they can get this win, this would be huge for them. It's about 6 points after that. That's going to give the belief, and with a manager like Sam Allardyce behind the wheel for them, it's going to make them think so much that they've got a chance at getting out. To be honest, I felt like they should have grabbed something from that Everton game. The last 10, 15 minutes, they were putting on Everton. Obviously, the goal disallowed, which was so tight. So it's unlucky for them. Going into this, it's such a tight game. I think you can see it going any way possible. I just think the way Big Sam is and the way Newcastle is, I think it's going to end up being a draw. I think it's going to be, a dull game. Both teams just doing everything not to concede and just trying to catch each other out. So I'm going to go for a 0-0.
So it's Liverpool versus Fulham today. And for Liverpool, Kabak is a major doubt for this game. But Nat Phillips should be available after his minor injury, which he missed the game against Chelsea, which ended the defeat. Mo Salah is also fit after being taken off early. Just as a precaution for Fulham, there is no new injuries to report. But Scott Parker is very unhappy with VAR after his side missed out on a point against Spurs on Thursday. But Piers here, a big game here for Liverpool. They need to win at home. They've suffered in their first time in their 129-year history 5 consecutive home defeats. They need to win to try and get top 4 back going here. But for Fulham, they should have got a point from that game. It's now said that if that sort of situation happens again, it will be counted as a goal, which is too late now. But if they win here, they could keep putting pressure on Newcastle, and also they could possibly jump them.
Yeah, I mean, I think personally for Fulham, I think everybody can agree that they were sort of robbed in that game of that goal. I think they should have got a point. I thought Fulham played well. They're still getting points off people. I feel like, in that bottom half table around that relegation zone area, I think they're the best team out of all of them. I think they've played terrific football in the last few games. It was really unlucky. And coming up against Liverpool, I think, it's going to be a hard game for both teams. I think, it's definitely going to be a hard game. I don't think you can overlook Liverpool. I know they've had a terrible record at the moment, and they haven't been great. In the Chelsea game, Liverpool, they looked like they were sort of going through the motions, didn't really have that Liverpool press that they've had, especially at Anfield when they had the fans behind them last season. They looked unbeatable. They looked like the best team in the world. So they've just lacked that a little bit at the moment. But I still don't think you can, shut out Liverpool. I still think they've got great players and great talent. But on the other hand, Fulham are that great side. So I think it's going to be an interesting game, to be honest. Although I think Liverpool probably should get the win, just in the form that they're in the way Fulham are playing. I think it's going to end up being a draw, just like the reverse fixture, and I'm going to go for a 1-1.
Man City, they're looking to make this run 22 games unbeaten in 2021 so far. Manchester United haven't fared too well against the top 6 sides. They've only had 1 win in their last 5, drawn all the rest. But for them, they need to bounce back and to take something off their nosy nose at the moment, because at the moment, they're just laughing at them.
Yeah, Manchester United have been in funny form at the moment. I think it's about 4 draws in their last 5. They have played some good opposition, but I would say at Manchester United's quality, they probably should be picking up more points. Manchester City, on the other hand, I mean, they have been terrific. You can't doubt them at all. They could play their B team and still go out and win some of these games that they've been doing. they just look fantastic at the moment. I think against Wolves, they show great character and just show why I believe that they will be champions at the end of the season. Let's just call it how it is now, that they're going to be, Man City will be champions. This game is very interesting. Man City have been on this brilliant run, but you know who the one team who can beat them. It's gonna be in the derby. It's gonna be Manchester United. Just like a few years ago, when Man City were running away with the league, and Manchester United went to Old Trafford, and I think they beat 3-2 or 3-1. They got the result. If anybody's got the opportunity to do it, is Manchester United. I know De Gea's out, but I think Henderson's more than a keeper for them. I know he hasn't played a lot, but I still think he's a brilliant keeper. But I think just the form that Manchester City are in, they won't care as a derby. It will be business as usual for them. I think Manchester City will get the win. Although I think Man United will put up a good fight, and I think they'll put a better performance in than they have in the last two games. I think Man City will get the win, and I'm going to go 3-1 to City.
So it is Tottenham versus Crystal Palace today. And for Tottenham, Jose Mourinho is expected to make changes to his side with their busy run of fixtures coming up. Lo Celso is not fit enough just yet, but has returned from his hamstring problem into training. But for Crystal Palace, good news. Wilfried Zaha is back after 5 games out because of a hamstring problem. But however, McCarthy's got another groin problem, and he joins Nathan Ake, James McCarthy, Soko and Tompkins on the sidelines. But Piers here, Tottenham, they're looking to make it 3 wins in a row. I can't remember the last time they did that here, and possibly get back into that European fight for top 4 or for Europa League. For Palace, they just want to keep building on results here. They've got 2 draws last time out, 2 draws and a win. They've got that draw against Manchester United, so they could go for this here, couldn't they?
Yeah, it will be an interesting game for both teams. I think for Tottenham, this will really show if they've turned a corner. Obviously, they beat Wolfsburger, beat Burnley, beat Fulham, luckily, to be honest. So they got the wins there for them. So this will be a good game. Palace, on the other hand, I think their results have been quite impressive for them. Obviously, they got the win in the derby. Good point against Fulham. Maybe they should have got the win, but in the form that Fulham are in, I still think it's a good result for Palace. And obviously got a draw against Manchester United, second in the league, so you can't complain that. So I think Tottenham will come up against an informed Palace, and Palace are coming back against the confident Tottenham. I think the way that Tottenham have been playing at the moment and the way that they've been attacking, I think it will cause problems for Palace, although having Zaha back will be a huge boost for them. But I think Tottenham will get the win. I think it'll be quite an exciting game, and I'm going to go for 2-1 to Tottenham.